The greatest demographic in human history is taking place right now. There are 7,000 people moving into sizable cities every hour. That means a new San Francisco or a new Singapore is birthed every month in terms of global population migrating into cities.
You will find people groups from all across the world. In major cities, you find millennials are moving into the cities, and you find the poor are congregating in the cities for survival. So in 2015, if you really want to reach the people of the world, you want to do mission in cities.
One of the great challenges that we find in cities all over the world is the ability to work together across racial lines and denominational lines. Most cities in the world have 4 or 5 common challenges: fatherlessness, underperforming educational system, enormous poverty, low employment. As we look at these challenges, we realize that they are much greater than the ability of any one church or any one agency to address all by themselves.
We tend to have blinders on to other ministries and other churches. That becomes a real challenge in the city because no ministry and no church can address the challenges of a city alone. Movement Day is a mosaic. It is the body of Christ coming together from cities. It is multi-denominational, various streams, marketplace leaders from across the city and cities, ministries who have particular callings in the city coming together to celebrate what God is doing, to learn from each other, and then to say, how can we work together over the course of the next year on some of the greatest spiritual challenges and social challenges facing our city. It's remarkable what God is doing in cities through Movement Day.
Movement Day Global Cities is happening in New York because New York City is considered by many to be the global capital of the world. New York is the most traveled to city in the world. It has the most international church in human history. It has a great 30-year story of how the body of Christ has been coming together to pray together and to reach the city together.
3, 5, 10 years from now, I believe that individuals who are at Movement Day Global Cities 2016 will say, I was there. I believe that will be a marker event for the kingdom.
I want to invite you to join me on October 25th, 2016 in the Jacob Javits Center in Manhattan for Movement Day Global Cities. I believe it will be an historic event where we gather with friends to talk about what God is doing in our cities, to learn from each other, to dream together, and to consider the great things that can happen over the next decade.
As men and women from around the world with a focus on cities come together and say, we are committed to reaching this new frontier for the sake of Jesus. Movement Day Global Cities will bring that clearly into focus and will be this launching pad for collaborative ministry in cities around the world.
Movement Day has been incredibly important for us in Dallas because it's formalized a theme that God had already been starting in the hearts of men and women, and that theme was unifying for the sake of gospel movement in the city.
We believe that Movement Day Global Cities 2016 will truly be a world's historic gathering. From what we know, this is the first type of gathering of its kind to occur in the history of the body of Christ.
2016 is going to be not just New York centric, but urban in the context of the world. So cities from all over are going to be coming and joining, and we will be encouraged and we will share. And I'm really, really looking forward to our time together.
Well, it is important for leaders to come to attend Movement Day Global Cities because they can see what God is doing around the world in cities, and they can also connect with one another.
The potential for leaders around the globe to come together and get equipped with skills to reach their cities is an awesome opportunity.
The heart of the experience is you will begin to say, if God can do this here, He can also do it back in my city.
I am really convinced that it will help the whole church to understand the necessity to reach all cities.
Movement Day Global Cities is a very significant event. I believe that it will accelerate the passion within us, stir our hearts, because God loves the city and it will bring together people from different parts of the world, and we will celebrate together, we will seek, and then we collaborate and we become a real missional church.
So I'll be at Movement Day Global Cities 2016.
I will be at Movement Day Global Cities.
I will be
I will be
at Movement Day Global Cities. Will you join me?
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 I'll be at Movement Day Global Cities. Will you join me?